right. Hello, everyone. My name is Doc Chelle. Thank you so much for coming to the Dr. Test Prep YouTube channel. The whole purpose is for me to help you be better at the PSAT and SAT specifically by teaching you how to use the Desmos calculator. Remember, Khan Academy is amazing, but when they made the videos, you didn't get the opportunity to use the calculator for every question if you wanted to. So that's why we have a heavy focus on that. All of my lessons directly align with Khan. Right now we are doing Unit 3, Lesson 9 in Khan Academy, which is Data Inferences. And if you have my book, we're on page 53. Okay, let me tell you about data inferences before we dig in. The whole point of data inferences is, if you think about the population of a school, let's say a school has 3,000 students. Okay, here they're estimating 1,000 students. It would be difficult to have 3,000 students do a survey. So what you do is you take a respectable sample size and you make sure that if you want to know how the whole school's doing, you don't only ask boys or you don't only ask ninth graders. So you take a representative sample, and from there you can infer or estimate how many of the whole population that relates to. Like right now we have a presidential election going on. It's 2024. There's a lot of people campaigning. They can't ask every single person in the United States what they think about a particular candidate at any one time. So what they do is they get a sample that's representative as best as they can of the population and ask those. And if they don't get a good representation, then you can't make inferences. So that's why you see things like margin of error and plus or minus. So basically we're taking, in this case for the SAT, we're given some information and we have to make inferences or guesses about all of it. Let's take a look. Question number 1 on page 53. Faculty at Riverview Middle School wanted to estimate how many of their 1,000 students owned a smartphone. They anonymously surveyed 100 students, and a quarter of those represented owning a smartphone. If this rate remains the same, how many students are projected to own a smartphone? So basically, there's a couple ways that you can do this. I think the easiest way is just paying attention to the rate. The rate is 1/4. So 1/4 of the 100 students said that they had a smartphone. So we could just do 1/4 times 100 to know that 25 people have the smartphone. Okay. You could set up a proportion saying like 25 over 100 equals X over 1,000. And if you watched my rates and proportion video at the beginning of, I think it's this unit, it might be the first unit, you know that we just type it in, 25 over 100 equals X over 1,000. Oh, you know what? I'm not getting the right answer. You know why I'm not getting the right answer? Notice here how it says graphing testing calculator and not Desmos. I have to refresh, choose a Desmos, I'm sorry, not Desmos, PSAT, and click College Board. And now when I go in, I'm like, why is this not working? It's supposed to work. I can type it in, and now I can get my answer. And even though I can't see it, if I scroll out, I can see that my answer is 250. Okay, so that's one way you can do it. Here's the way that I would do it. Because they actually already gave you the rate, I would just do 1/4 times 1,000, and you're going to get the same answer. Take a look. 1/4 is 0.25 times 1,000 is 250. So this is how I would do it. The only reason why I showed you the proportion is because sometimes they won't tell you a quarter of the group gave this information. They'll just say 37 students, in which case you would need to do a proportion. Edward City has a population, similar to what we're looking at right now. Edward City has a population of 50,000 people. So this is going to be my denominator because totals always go on the bottom. In a random sample of 500 people, so this will be my other denominator, 40 reported cycling to work. 40. If this rate remains the same, how many people cycle to work? Okay, and basically they mean in the entire town. So again, all I had to do was read, and we can come up with our answers from there. We have 40 over 500, so 40 people cycle out of 500. And we are going to do another division. We don't know how many out of the 50,000. Okay, If you want, I would click the gear, and I would just make my X value say 50,000. Even though we know we don't have to go that high, it'll be easier to see what our number is. Oh, we're in the negatives. Okay, there it is, right here. And we can see that the answer is 4,000. Now, the other thing you might have noticed is well, 500 times 100 is 50,000. So 40,000 times 100 is 4,000. I'm sorry, 40 times 100 is 4,000. Either way. All right, if 15% of high school students play a musical instrument or sing, if this rate holds true, how many of the district's 6,000 high school students are projected to play an instrument? This is one that we just do the multiplication from before. We have 15%. Remember, percentages need to be turned into decimals, times 6,000. And that's it. I'm going to click the home button to get myself back to center. $900. All right. We just finished the basic examples for data inferences. Please come to our next video to look at the harder examples. I'll see you soon. Thank you for caring about yourself. Bye, guys.